So it's the 17th of December and my Amaryllis has finally opened. It opened this first flower about 2 or 3 days ago, and this second one has just opened about a day ago. And then it's got 2 more on the way, so that's quite good. 4 on the flower spike. I think last year it had 2 flower spikes with 4 flowers on one, 2 on the other. So it's not quite as good as last year, but last year, you know, I bought it from the shop, so I was expecting it to do very well, as I spent about £5–10 on it. But this year it's just grown from it's the same bulb, but I've grown it over summer, so I wasn't expecting a guaranteed display, but it's done pretty well. So you can already see the leaves are already starting to come up for next year's growth. I've counted, there's 6 leaves coming, which is quite a good number. It's actually in fresh compost because I replaced the compost just before it started flowering, so I won't need to repot it. I might need to give it a bit of feed though, because it's quite a small pot and it's quite a large bulb in there. Ideally I'd have a slightly larger pot, but I don't have many large pots around the place, so it'll just have to stay in that one, which is its original. So it's done quite well, this Amaryllis. It's a little bit warm in this room, so unfortunately it won't give a very long display, but at least coming up into Christmas now, we've got nice red flowers, so it's kind of seasonal. It sits here with some of my other Christmas things. So it's done well. Might take another photo of it when it's got all its flowers open. They might all flower at once, or this one might die down before these 2 start opening. And the other Amaryllis I have is over here, which is much further behind. And the reason for that being behind is because the one I just showed you was in direct sunlight for the whole summer, whereas this one was in a bit of a shadier position, so it's taken longer to store up its energy. And the last few months it's been dying back. You can see this last leaf is even starting to die back now. It's gone yellow. So I'm just reducing the watering. No sign of any new growth yet, but I wouldn't expect any yet because it's still dying back. But its bulb has got really fat. It's kind of hard to show because it's still buried, but it's probably getting close to the size of that pot. So you know, about that kind of width for a good fat bulb. So that should hopefully flower nicely. Once it's died down, I'm going to repot that. Might do a repotting video of that, I'm not sure. And then it will, after a few months, it will grow new roots and then another flower spike. So this one will probably flower in February or March, because there's a good 2 months gap between the last leaf dying and the flower coming. So hopefully in a few months that one will look as lovely as this one. You can see how big it is by comparison to my hand, although I'm 6'4", so I have got huge hands. So that's really quite big. I use my PlayStation controller as a comparison. You can see there, it's a huge flower. So I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll probably be back in February with more of my Amaryllis.